Happy Wednesday, everybody. Yes, I look normal again. Thank God. We'll give it a moment so I can share out the link. Hey, Craig, how's it going? It's good to see that my internet connection is way better now that I am home. As much as North Carolina was great, that internet, man, that was a wonky. Okay. Let me share this link on the gram so we can get some people to join. Lips look fine. Yes. Thank you. Thank you. We are going to get into the story. We will get into it. Not immediately because we want people to be here. And I know a million people are going to ask about it. So we're just going to, what I'm first going to have people do is actually, I want to take a poll. I want to see what people think happened. Okay. Come on. Okay, sorry, selfie so I can share the link. Oh God, what is wrong with the Ring camera? There we go. How's everybody's week been? Has anybody been up to anything exciting? Filler, Botox, no. Ed, you're wrong. You wrong? Okay. Link is posted. Oh, when did I get home? Tommy's travel sagas have now flooded into my travel sagas. I don't know what airlines people enjoy flying, but I try to fly United as much as possible because A, Ortega, B, stings to the face. No, but that was a good guess. Actually, right before the CrossFit games, my sister, she's having a pool put in. Well, I guess the pool is in now. And I was walking through the grass to get it. My sister and brother-in-law have a ton of land, and there was a bee or a wasp or something that stung my ankle, and I was definitely allergic to it. That shit was swollen for like until basically now. Pumpkin spice to the lips. I actually had my first pumpkin spice latte of the season. It was from Dunkin' Donuts. I don't really love Dunkin' Donuts, but there was no Starbucks in sight from where I was earlier today. So unfortunately, I had to suck it up. But yeah. But flying, United is where I normally fly. I will not fly American because they've screwed me over one too many times between like their customer service just sucks. And to me, that means a lot. I know that, you can't control weather and delays and things happen. But if your customer service is good, I will forever, hold on, let me turn my email off. I will forever, continue to fly with you. And that's why I do with United. And I also have a ton of points with them. So I get free bags, and my bags can be heavier than 50 pounds. But anyways, the flight was way cheaper at American, like $400 cheaper. Damn cankles. I'll get to that story in a minute. Somebody says one thing and it just like adds ideas of story after story after story. But airlines first. So I ended up flying American because they were $400 cheaper. So I was like, okay, I just gotta like suck it up this one last time. And they couldn't even give me a reason of why my flight was canceled and rescheduled for the next day. And then Tim Poulsen texted me when he saw that my flight was like rescheduled to the next day because he used to live about an hour from me. So when he lived, him and his wife lived in Ithaca, they would have to come to Syracuse to fly out of our airport. And he texted me and was like, "Oh, they probably just had a more important city to fly into that day." And I'm like, you know what? You're probably right. But nonetheless, I was still able to get home around like noon on Monday. And since it was a holiday, that made it nice because most people didn't like email me or anything. So I watched the new Twister movie. It was pretty good. I watched some stupid shark movie that was not very good, but it had Blake Lively in it. So I thought maybe it would be okay. It wasn't. Ed, stay on task. It's so hard. You need notes. You're right. I need to have a rundown of the show, but then I want to interact with you guys. So I'm like reading comments. My brain is spinning. Cankles. I used to be a lifeguard. Not a good one that was at a country club. So basically, you watch the kids while the parents drink and get drunk, and then you make friendship bracelets. And the head lifeguard at the time, he looked at my ankles. He was like, "Oh, we're not gonna make you an anklet. We're gonna make you a canklet." So, yeah, it doesn't matter how, like, much weight I lose, I always have cankles. So, I naturally have them without the bee sting. So, when I had the sting, wasp sting, whatever it was like my calf went right into my ankle. It was, not great. 10 out of 10 wouldn't recommend. So, yeah, that has been my last few weeks of life. But today was interesting. I just got done with my second workout. I worked out this morning. It went fine. I just like wasn't really in it. And then as soon as I was leaving the gym, one of my friends, Gary, him and his fiance, texted me and were like, "Hey, you want to work out with us around 4?" It's like, actually, that sounds great. So I just like jetted home from their house and we did a 15-minute AMRAP of 20 hang dumbbell snatches, just normal weight, 35-pound dumbbell. What was that? So 20 and then 30 goblet box step ups with the dumbbell and then 40 shoulder to overhead. Has to be 5 per side before you switch. So that was a fun little pumpy pump. Oh, I forget. I want to have the overlay so we can see everybody's. There we go. Now we have the correct format of this show. Yeah, the next thing that I need is an actual rundown. But that will be as we progress when we eventually have guests on the show. I'm trying to decide. So I'll be. Yeah, see, Eva, did I miss your lip news? No, I'm holding out until we get a couple more people in the chat. But you can start guessing. We've had a couple of good ones. One of the guesses was filler, Botox, no. Bee sting, no. Pumpkin spice to the lips. I really like that guess, and that seems on track. Speaking of pumpkin spice, okay, and I'll start it off with I am not sponsored by them, but I had okay, I don't know how to make this look the best, but First Form, I mean, I've had their protein bars before, but they were one of the sponsors at the Masters CrossFit Games, and the pumpkin spice crunch. Oh my god. Honestly, I might just snack on it right now, so bear with me. There was this one, and then their other fall flavor was Sean had it, and he came over to Tommy and I was like, "Guys, have you had the apple crisp first form bar?" We're like, "No." And he was like, "You gotta, they're almost out of them. You should go grab it right now." And we ran. They're very good. Hi, Noelle. I log in and get an advert. What do you mean? Mm-mm-mm. Master games were a lot of fun. A really cool community. That was honestly the first time that I've ever really watched the Masters games because typically it's conflicting with the elite individuals. So I think back in like 2017 and 2018, I watched my friend Tom Famery from my original affiliate, CrossFit Green Bay. I watched his heats, but after that, just work always prioritize the elites. So that's what we were watching. We're days into September, and I've heard pumpkin spice enough to last me the rest of the year. Okay, so this is actually something that okay, awesome. I was thinking a dumbbell accident or a reaction to some kind of food. Those are also great guesses. You're so basic. I love it. Okay. Wow, I have so many thoughts. I do need to keep like notes of what's happening. So first, when we were eating these, Sean then got on a tangent about how he thinks fall flavors should be later. And I look at him and I'm like, dude, you're from I get it, North California, but like your season doesn't change until like November. It's already well, today's kind of hot. It's 75, but when my plane landed, it was in the 60s the other day. I woke up and it was 57 degrees. Like we are right on track for fall weather in upstate New York. So we want to have a show of like what is the time frame of when holiday season should be coming out. And as we were talking about like pumpkin spice and peppermint mocha, okay, that stuff lasts through okay, the pumpkin stuff lasts until you get to the Christmas flavor, so until Thanksgiving, so the last week of November, and then peppermint flavors come in, and I would say that that lasts until the end of January. But what is the like February to March flavor? I know that it's Valentine's Day, but what is the flavor or what is the scent? And then somebody said flowers, but to me that's like spring once you get to like April. I don't know. Just a thought that I had. Dumbbell to the face. Damn. I've done a dumbbell to my phone and totally cracked the screen once, and it was really upsetting. I ran the competition floor at the 17 to 18 games for Masters. Awesome. I loved Madison. What a great venue it was. Phoenix currently 107. Dang. Oh, yeah. NorCal is this weekend. The NorCal Classic. Who's going to that? I'm unfortunately not. I'm going to be in Utah for a tactical games event, but that will actually be my first time to Utah. So I'm really excited. Spring flavor. Would that be like watermelon? No, but February and March isn't spring yet. You're still in winter. But what is the flavor? Because it's not pumpkin spice and like caramel apple or apple crisp, and it's not peppermint anymore, but it's too early for like those spring flavors. So what is the flavor and or scent of late winter to pre-spring? It's an answer that I need. Oh, it's Patrick. It's late for you, dude. Out there in the UK. I am coming to FitFest UK, by the way. I just talked to Mark yesterday. So that's really exciting. I can't wait for that. We're just going over logistics. I am dropping this all over. I can't believe my dogs aren't coming. Should get up. Why is that your name on here, Pat? Ooh, hot chocolate. Yeah, maybe. Maybe because like the chocolate for Valentine's Day, but you still want a hot beverage because it's still cold. I actually drink iced beverages all year round, but I'm kind of psycho, so maybe that's not a popular opinion. Any more guesses about my lips? I don't know. At 6:20, I'll say what happened. I'm honestly surprised nobody's guessed it yet. Valentine's Day. Strawberries, yep. Milk, dark, white chocolate. The flavor of coffee. And that's my old business name when I coached. Oh, cool. Aerobic capacity rowing. I feel like Chris Hinshaw owns that. At least the aerobic capacity part. Hmm. Oh, you're even later. You're in France. Francais. Hmm. Then no, I think it's all 6 hours ahead. Allergic reaction, that's a good guess. I grew up with several food allergies. Chocolate was one of them. Oh man. Okay, so Michael Khalil is my brother-in-law Matt. I knew my dad didn't know how to use that technology. So do you have his YouTube on your cell phone? I know you're not with him. Oh, Pat worked with Chris. A man bit the lips. Ortega. I wish. I wish. It's funny though, because let me bookmark that because I have a story not about that, but something that goes along with like a man from like my lip story. Wow, that would have been way better story. I honestly should have just like told that story and ran with it. Do it for the plot. That's why we're here. Okay, what is happening? What is happening? Michael Lil and Michael Khalil. One has my dad's picture. This is so weird. It's definitely not my dad because we've been playing phone tag and you still haven't called me back. So unless I see you calling me right now, I know it's not you. Hi guys. Got my little snoots under me now. Peppermint flavor is Christmas time. I mean, I love peppermint. I would say second to pumpkin spice flavor, but by um what you call it? By February and March, there's got to be a different flavor. I just don't know what it is. It will be the debate till the end of time. Mm-mm-mm-mm. Okay. So, what happened to my lips? Well, it was intentional, but the swelling was not intentional. So, for the past year or so, everybody's doing this like permanent makeup thing. And March, you're moving into lavender. Interesting. Okay. All right. I get down with that. I like lavender. Whoever's from my dad's account, good job. So, permanent makeup is something that I've been interested in with my job, but I want it to be like some kind of permanent that looks natural. I don't want it to look like I'm glammed up all the time, but I also would like to kind of roll out of bed not looking like my brother or that I'm homeless. So, lip tinting or lip blushing, you can have them essentially tattoo your lips a certain color that can be as crazy as like bright red lipstick to, you just want your lips to look like they have a little bit of color and they don't look washed out. So, after a year of research, please tell me more. How bad did it hurt? Honestly, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna give all the details. All the dudes are now like, okay, we don't care. We're leaving the show. But all the ladies interested now. So I went to Rochester, about an hour from here, from this woman that I researched about lip tinting. And I'm like, hey, like this is the color that I eventually want it to look like. And we go through what the stages are going to be, how it looks very vibrant at the beginning, and then like the lip color totally fades, and then your lips have to heal. So then like some of it comes back, and then you have a follow-up appointment 6 to 8 weeks later. But anyways, so I go for this appointment. They numb your lips. Honestly, I don't think the numbing cream did anything. And my pain tolerance is pretty high. I just kind of sucked it up. But when you're in pain and you like clench your jaw and then you start salivating, that was kind of me. It honestly was, I would say like a 5. A 5 out of 10 was maybe 4 to 5 out of 10 was the pain. It really doesn't take that long. Yeah, Patrick, yeah, I'm going back to the bar. Um, is that like a tattoo? Yes, but because like they're injecting the color, and again, like I only have one tattoo and it's very small, but since it's the color and your lips are like a decent sized surface area, they have to do like between 7 to 8 passes. And like when I came in with my water bottle and I did a ton of research. Again, like I don't do anything unless I've looked in every crevice of the earth for reasons why I shouldn't do something. At least that's what I do now. I can't speak for, 23 and earlier me. Maybe 24 and earlier of me. But so I research everything. I do all of like the pre stuff to make sure that I'm putting myself in the best situation. And I come in with my drink and the technician goes, "Oh, like you're somebody that stays really hydrated." And I was like, "Well, yeah." And she goes, "Okay, just to let you know, there's like typically the more hydrated you are, the more swelling that you'll have. No worries. Everybody swells a little bit, but just want to forewarn you." Bye bye, Patrick. And I was like, "Okay, yeah, whatever." Like I knew that there was a risk of some swelling. And so she gets done with like 3 passes. She was like, "So when we're complete, I'm gonna obviously show you what you look like, and you're probably gonna laugh at yourself because you're so swollen." And the video that I put on Instagram, I'm not exaggerating. They were double because that was after at that point that was 2 hours later because it was like an hour to an hour and a half drive and the appointment had ended. And so they were so big. And I was just like, what is happening? And then I'm researching how long does it take for swelling to go down? And of course, it says everybody's different. Just like, okay, when I got home, I had to do a video podcast for this event that I'm doing this weekend, or next weekend. And I was just like struggling a bit because I'm like, oh my God, I can't even look at myself and take myself seriously. But as you can see now, my lips are nearly totally fine. Um, this is not the end color. So again, I just want them to look natural with like a little tint of like the pink to, and when I say purple, it's not purple, but like less on the spectrum of pink to red and more on the hue of pink to purple. So it just is a very natural look. But yeah, so that's my lip story of what happened. And it was really funny because my technician was like, "Have you ever gotten lip filler before?" And I was like, "No, I like the shape of my lips. I don't have a problem with the size of my lips. I just want to inject some color into my lips." And then when we got done, she was like, "Yeah, I can see why you probably never wanted filler." And I'm like, "Yeah, like I look ridiculous. What is happening?" And I get that right now it's really trendy to have these big, luscious, large lips, but for me, that's just not my journey. I just wanted a little bit of color. Don't mind me. I'm just putting some Vaseline on them. Oh, great. See, these are the people that I need in the show right now asking all of the real questions. So, it on day 4, you'll get a little bit of flaking, is what she told me. Like right now, honestly, I can't even believe like they don't hurt. There's like a very, very slight tingly sensation, I guess you would say, but I'm having no problem like eating, drinking, doing things as normal. Oh, back to guy biting lip. So in the post instructions, it was like, don't do any vigorous makeout sessions. And she gives it to me and I just laugh and I was like, unless I get maybe a new Amazon driver, I think we're going to be fine. And she thought that was funny. And I mean that because I know my Amazon driver because he's here almost every day. But he's not my style, which is fine. But yeah, I always say like, oh, if I were going to date somebody, it would probably have to be my Amazon driver because that's the person that I see more than almost anybody. Anyways, I have another beer. Are we still on the lips? Yeah, we are still on the lips. How long does the color last? It can last up to 2 to 2.5 years. And like my technician that was doing mine, she had hers done like 2 years ago and there was still like a decent amount of color on hers. So everybody is a little bit different. So the way that it goes is you first get it done and it's going to be the most vibrant color. And then the color will start to change. It will start not even scabbing. Like what she explained to me is it just gets a little flaky and you don't want to pull that off. And it's going to be so freaking hard for me because I'm the psychopath that like I'll never forget in high school, I had this friend, his name was Michael Kelly, and he had the whitest of white skin and got super sunburned. And I went over to his house and like sat on his butt while we watched TV and I just peeled his back. And it was so entertaining for me. So I really like peeling things. I was also the kid that like would put super glue on my hands and stick them together and then like peel it off for entertainment. I don't know. I'm weird. So it's going to be really hard on day 4 for me to not want to do that. But then like the color almost all goes away. And then the color by what was it? Day like 40 to 50, you see the true color. And that's why then you'll have like a 6 to 8 week follow-up where they will do any touch-ups or if you want to like go darker or change the color a little bit. What's the risk? I mean, I would think the same risks that you would with any tattoo, like infection and things like that. They do recommend if you're somebody that is prone to cold sores that you take the antibiotics that you would for a cold sore from your doctor like 3 to 4 days leading up to it. And then I think 3 to 4 days after. They don't like the tattoo doesn't cause cold sores, but the irritation like around your lips, if you're prone to them, could cause you to have a flare up. So that was one of the risks that I also saw. You're odd. I know that I'm odd. Like I'm fully aware that I am weird and out there, etc., etc. Okay, you've convinced me. I probably need to do this. My lips look ghost white. Yeah, and that was the thing. It was really annoying that I love like having a little color on my lips more than I don't because when I had nothing on them, it was just like my lips blended into my skin tone, especially in the winter time when I'm pale as a ghost. Oh, Ortega, you'd be picking it too. Yeah. If anybody here ever gets a sunburn, like call me. I will pick your skin. I don't know how to respond to that story. Yeah, well, I got a lot of weird stories, honestly. I don't know where they come from. It just kind of happens. So yeah, that's my lip story of the day. They don't feel swollen anymore. I would say maybe a tad bit, but for the most part, I think my lips look back to normal with a little bit of color. And again, this color is supposedly brighter than what the end result will be. And then when I see her in 6 to 8 weeks, we'll reevaluate if I want to change it up a bit. Again, just looking for a natural look to not look like the ghost of Christmas past or whatever they call it. So that was my day. That was my day. I was very shocked. I FaceTimed my mom immediately, and the first thing she said was, "Did you get stung by a bee?" I was like, "No, Mom, what did I do? Mistakes were made." I'm off to burn on tan beds. Oh, tanning beds. I used to be an addictive tanner. Yeah, it was bad. Like, I used to be orange. Once some girl was bullying me and she called me an Oompa Loompa. It hurt, but honestly, like, she was pretty accurate. Not gonna lie. She wasn't wrong, but it was rude. Bullying's not nice. Now I don't do fake tan beds anymore. I've grown out of that lifestyle. How am I single? That's a great question. Part of it is truly by choice because now that I've been single basically since 2017, I'm picky now. It like if I'm going to be with you, you have to enhance my lifestyle and enhance my life and I mean I go on a decent amount of dates when I am home from dating apps and it's just so bad. Like so bad. Recently I had somebody they were on the phone with me before we went out to meet for drinks for the first time and they tell me where they are and I was like, "Yep, I'll be right there. I'm just at the bank depositing some money right now." And then we get to the bar and the guy looks at me. He was like, "Oh, you took out cash so you can get this first round?" And I look at him and I was like, "No, I said I deposited money. I didn't take money out." And again, like, I don't really care. Like, if we need to split or go halvesies, it's not, to me, it's not necessarily a deal breaker, but it's just the mindset of, I don't know. I feel like more often than not, the dates that I've gone out, the guy expects the woman to pay, which is a little strange. Like, again, if we're going to coffee and we're meeting there and we both get our own order, like, no problem with that, but just feels a little bit weird being asked for money. Because she lives in the weird part of New York. That's also accurate. Syracuse doesn't really host the best types of men. Her work is her partner. Ernie, don't say that. That's not true. I mean, part of it's true because I'm super passionate about my work. But the thing is, if you're my people and you're somebody that I feel a connection with and I want to invest time with, I will. But a lot of times like, guys will tell me that I'm intimidating, and that's a huge turnoff. Guys will say stupid things like, "Oh, I bet you can outlift me." And it's just like, even if that's true, don't say that. It's a turn off. Um, yeah, I mean, the fact that I travel so much, that's a turn off too, and that I can understand. I can understand if somebody wants to hang out with you multiple times a week, that based on the time of year, my schedule can be a little odd. All the hot guys are in Arizona, literally. Eric, you ain't wrong. You ain't wrong. Arizona breeds some fine men. I'll actually be in Arizona for Desert City Classic, and I'm going to spend some extra time hanging out with Presley and seeing her new house and all of that kind of stuff. When I went to go, when was I in Arizona last? Oh, it was probably a year ago at Desert City Classic. Was it then? I don't know. We went out and there was obviously red flags alert, but there was this bouncer that was, oh, he was fine. But also, like, I'm flashing the red flags because he definitely was a red flag. But if you're just basing things out on looks, they look nice there. Ernie, thank you. I'm glad you think I'm great at my work. I love my work, but I also love. And it's been a really long time since I've been in love. I love my dogs. They love me too. So that's great. Eric, you're definitely invited. You're definitely invited. I hope it's warm enough so we can have a little pool day. I think we're going to go to Sedona too. Presley asked, like, if we take a couple of PTO days, like, what I would want to do. And that's on the list. And I think, like, a spa that she recommends is also on the list for when I'm out there for things that we can do. But yeah, dating is not fun. I'm on the wrong side of the Atlantic. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, people overseas are cool too. A third dog for more love. Hmm. I mean, I think the more dogs, the more fun. But at this point, more than 2 dogs, I would need another human to help me, take care of the dogs. God bless my Aunt Kathy. She stays at my house when I'm on the road. She cleans, she decorates, she keeps my dogs alive and well, feeds them their Kongs with peanut butter, so it's happy, happy days. Ooh, some eyeball cucumbers. I'm already feeling that vibe. I cannot wait for that. Ooh, Eva, you're gonna volunteer for Desert City. It's such a good competition. Good, Ortega, you will be back. My goal is to eat really good food while we're there too. There's this Mexican place that Presley took me to that was chef's kiss. Okay, no, I didn't go to the Grand Canyon. I went to Vegas. But that was it. Oh, CrossFat is back, asking if there's any new dates. No, and I'm on strict rules from the woman who just tinted my lips that I cannot have any intense makeout sessions. So dating is paused until further notice. No, I mean, there's nobody to date out here. Trust me. Trust me. It's so funny because I've been on dating apps. When did I move back here? In 2019. So I've been like on them and off them. And sometimes they're just like there and I just don't use them. So since 2019 in the same location, and I can't judge because these guys are probably thinking the same thing, but you're starting to see people recirculating. So people that you might have like swiped 4 or 5 years ago, they're coming back into the rotation, which is like wild. Why are we still here? Why are we on here? I hate it. Oh, Ortega makes a good point. You can date, you just can't you don't have to make out with them. That's true. It was more of a joke than anything, but you make a good point. Hand stuff only. Got it. Thanks. Thanks for everybody's support here. I appreciate it. I do. You know, the love of my life is somewhere, just not here. Oh, good. The CrossFit chick. Yeah. Yeah. I had this one guy recently. And I'm curious, like, from the men in this chat, what they think. So my rule, I don't I feel like I don't have a ton of, like I try to live in the gray area. I'm not, like I won't die on a lot of hills over something. I'll listen to you and see, like, well, why do you think that way? Maybe you'll change my mind. But with this, like, for the most part, I die on this hill. And it's the rule that you don't get my phone number unless we meet in real life and have a successful date. Otherwise, we're just messaging on the app. And this one guy argued with me and then unmatched us when I told him, like, hey, because he was saying, oh, it's so much easier to just text you than be on here. I didn't say this, but how is that any easier? It's literally the same thing. You're just being lazy because you won't open the app. So to me, that's already a red flag. But and then I, like, in kind of a flirty way, I was like, "Oh, haha, like, I just would prefer that we have a date in real life first before I give you my number," smiley face, and then he unmatched me, and I'm just like, "Are you kidding me? Like, that was a turn off for you?" I don't know, maybe the guys have a different perspective in this chat, but who knows? Can I make an Instagram dedicated only to finding you dates? Yeah, Ortega, I don't care. You know that I don't care. That could be kind of fun. At this point, it's literally for the plot. It's for the plot because what else is happening? Nothing. Yeah, that's a great rule. You got to be safe. Thank you. I appreciate that. Except for the one time when I did find out somebody's last name and then they had a criminal record because I gave them my number. So sometimes there's a benefit, but I don't think that that's the majority. How was play-by-play? Oh my god. Wait, are you asking about the games? How was play-by-play life? I don't know what that means. Unless you're talking about Masters games calling play-by-play. Unsure. CrossFit, please clarify. They come back because they have unresolved issues. I don't know. The one rule is they can't be a CrossFit guy. Lauren's dating profile bio, emotionally unavailable. That's not true. I've done a lot of therapy work. I know where my shortcomings are. I'm definitely not emotionally unavailable. I just have certain standards. And unfortunately, many can't meet them right now. Yes, the games might be. Oh, it was great. It was a lot of fun. The Masters community is like, it's so different than covering like the elite division um in some really cool ways. I think that the Masters breaking off from the like normal games was the best thing that that age group could have done because it's given the opportunity to learn more about the people who have L1s, L2s, L3s. There were more than 80 athletes that were affiliate owners competing that weekend, which I think was just such a cool little note to continue to mention throughout the broadcast. But to be able to learn about them and tell their stories and really put the methodology to the test by showing longevity in what they do was just such an honor to be able to be part of the team for year one. And hopefully legends, Bob and Joe, great people, ran a fantastic competition. And the things that maybe they didn't get right the first year, they were totally like aware of them and open to feedback and making it better, and just really great humans to be able to work with. And I think that they absolutely put the Masters in the forefront and those athletes in the forefront of their minds that will just help them grow over the years, if CrossFit keeps working with them. So yeah, it was a lot of fun. Maybe find a date at Masters games. I mean, these dudes were fit. Somebody front squatted. Oh my god. Okay, so Jimmy Woodard, who I know, like through the CrossFit space, but also through tactical games. Him and his wife, Kalarina, they both compete. And I knew Jimmy was strong because I know Kalarina is strong, and I know she's not gonna marry a weak man. So when I saw the 1RM front squat, I was thinking, oh, I wonder what Jimmy's gonna put up. He puts up 450 pounds for a front squat. Somebody in the Masters division, the older division, I think it was 50 to maybe 50 to 55 or 49 to 50, one of the two, put up a 455 front squat. What? What? Are you kidding me? Damn. Damn, that is a strong front squat for anybody, let alone the Masters division. Eric, line up for Lauren is the name of the account. Oh God. Oh God. I think it depends on the people. I chatted with a few women who they asked if me for my number instead of messaging in the app, and that includes my now wife. I didn't mind waiting, but some of them. Okay. Oh, some of them didn't want to. Okay, interesting. Yeah, I know that everybody's like a little bit different. To me, it's also just like I don't want to be giving out my number to a bunch of people. That's what the app is for. And a lot of these people on the app, they just want a pen pal. They just want to chat with you. They never want to ask you on a date in real life. The amount of men that I have to initiate to actually meet up is alarming. It's alarming. And I know I'm bold and I kind of just go after for what I want. And I'm not expecting everybody to have that same kind of energy. But it's like, okay, if we've been messaging on here for a week and you still haven't like had any hints to meet in person, then what are we doing? What are we doing? I don't get it. Lauren needs no man, but that's a good one. It's great to have standards, but are you willing to be single if someone can't meet your full checklist? It's not a checklist. It's absolutely not a checklist. 80% on the list, genuinely curious. To me, I mean, the things that I'm not willing to break are like, are you kind? Are you motivated or passionate about something in life? It doesn't need to be fitness. It doesn't need to be your job. It just needs to be something. I've always said, like, if the love of my life is a garbage man and he is so passionate about what he does and he has like a bigger why, then I would never judge that. And I know that that analogy is kind of extreme and a little bit silly, and people might be side eyeing right now, like Lauren's not going to marry a garbage man. But truly, to me, it's more about like, do you have a passion and something that gets you out of bed in the morning? So be kind, have a passion, treat people with respect. Um, and then after that, it's really just like a personality. Are we vibing together? Um, do you enjoy traveling? I mean, that's something that I do a lot of, and I would like to do less traveling for work at some point and more traveling for pleasure. But knowing that, I need somebody who also wants to like spend time traveling and exploring, and it doesn't need to be CrossFit, but somebody who takes care of themselves and likes to be in the gym and likes to live an active lifestyle are things that I think are just important for compatibility reasons. If you can front squat 455, wonder what you can do with 160. I'll leave it there. Put it on a t-shirt. I'll wear it. I'll wear it. That's a great username. They're all great usernames. Just keep them rolling. uh no, I don't know who you guys are talking about. I haven't really consumed like much after we covered it, and then I went home, and then I got home Monday. I watched a bunch of TV to catch up and reset and relax, and then I'm now getting ready for tactical games this weekend. Oh, thank you, Eva. We enjoyed being on the YouTube. It was a lot of fun. I loved working with Tommy too. Calling play by play and having him do color. Like him and I had a lot of fun. I gave him this one task. So because like him and Sean always talk about movies. I'm like, guys, I feel like the third wheel a lot of the time. I'm just like, do. I have no idea what they're talking about. So I gave Tommy a mission and he delivered and I had my own shortcomings. I was like, okay, you know what? On the second to last day of competition, I need you to insert either a Harry Potter reference or a Twilight reference. And he inserted the Twilight reference and I didn't pick up on it. It was something with the quote of Spider Monkey. Hang on, just Spider Monkey, something like that. And I laughed at it because I was like, shoot, I know that's from something, but the wheels didn't turn quick enough. Must love dogs. Write that down. Could be a good movie. I'd watch that movie. Oh, so you're saying there's a chance that's from a movie? Guys, I don't do movie references. I just don't. So you just want a genuinely good guy. That is what I'm having a hard time with. They either live in their parents' basement, they don't have a job, they're disrespectful, they ask me for money, they're a criminal. The list goes on and on. Wait, so who's Tall Patrick versus France, UK, but France Patrick? The vibe and the passion is way more important than everyone gives it credit. Yes, I agree. Vibing together. So there were 2 streams of the Masters so that we could show multiple events happening at once. Because since there was so many divisions, there was one day where Tommy and I called event 4. It was the one with the Echo Bike for calories. We called that event for 10 hours straight, while Sean and Chase called the chipper workout for 10 hours straight. So if there weren't 2 streams, you would have had to choose watch, like only having coverage of one or the other. Ortega, are you actually doing the tactical games or covering? I'm covering it. So my plan for tactical games is I'm going to compete in at least one competition next year. Once they release the 2025 schedule, I'll meet with the owners and we'll kind of decide, like, is there a competition that you guys prefer me to not work out of all of these so I can compete? Or I might try to work and compete. I don't know. TBD, but I'll definitely compete next year. Team Edward. Ooh. It's very controversial. I can get down with it. Noelle, I've put no dent in any of those movies because you know what? When I lay down and I want to watch a good movie, I end up just either rewatching something I've already seen a million times or finding like a rom-com or what's on my top recommendation list on Netflix. And then it just kind of goes from there. The reference list that Tommy and Sean gave me, it just they like different styles than me. When I mentioned rom-com the other day to Sean, his head almost exploded. He was like, "Who likes a rom-com? They don't make any good rom-coms." It's like, that is my favorite genre of movie. And this is why we don't understand movie references of each other. Ortega, yes, because there was 3. There wasn't just 1, there wasn't just 2, but there were 3 floors going on at once. It was a wild time, but good. Watch them on the planes. Honestly, 9 times out of 10, I pay the $8 for Wi-Fi and I work on the planes. I'm on planes too many times of the year to not work or do somewhat productive. Like being on planes is no longer I'm going to eat Starbursts and fun snacks and watch a movie. No, I've packed meat sticks and spreadsheets of stats or athlete bios. Yes, you better hang on tight, Spider Monkey. That's what Tommy said to me. Oh, and I'm so mad that I missed it. I'm so mad. Do you think Masters was successful being broken off the main games? Absolutely. I think that honestly, out of all the decisions that CrossFit's made from the last calendar year, I think breaking the Masters, I can't speak to the Pit Teen Throwdown. We're actually interviewing Joel Gadet tomorrow, who was there calling play-by-play for their stream. So I'm curious to get his take. But I think that breaking the Masters into their own competition was one of the best decisions, if not the best decision that CrossFit has made all 2024. I really, really do. Because otherwise, I mean, the streams got really good numbers, like way surpassed any numbers that they've ever gotten. For even Legends when they live streamed it, when it obviously wasn't the CrossFit Games. I think it was 2 years ago when it was done through Mayhem or at Mayhem. They got decent numbers, but these ones blew them out of the water. And if it was competing with teams or the elite divisions, it's just people don't watch. And this gives them a separate weekend. And if you are a sports fan, you can start a sports fan of CrossFit, you can start learning about these athletes. And there are really fun races and are really cool opportunities to hang out with your friends and pull up the live stream and have a little watch party or what have you. For Weddings and Funeral is genuinely one of the greatest movies ever made. I've never heard of it. Sorry. Hi, Nico. I watched both and they had good views on YouTube. 1K plus. Oh no, they were like one of them had over 100K. Like good numbers. It was between like 60 and 100K on their streams. And that was from when I checked over the weekend. It's probably more now. Eva loves the Masters separate. Yep, I think it was a great move. Need to get on more 6 a.m. flights for some good sleep. Honestly, I try to take the first flight out because otherwise, since coming from Syracuse, I never can get a direct flight anywhere. I know that if I'm on the first flight out, that if my flight is delayed or I miss my connection for whatever reason, there's typically then opportunity to still get out the same day. That once I've made the mistake of leaving in the afternoon and then I didn't get to my destination until the next day, and then I was kind of screwed. Instead of just leaving the stream on from the games, I actively looked for streams to leave it on in the background. What do you mean? Maybe I'm reading that weird. I need some clarity on that one. Need some more Aquaphor for my lips. Masters and Teens stream. Oh, so you're saying like if you're doing things around the house, you like to have some kind of stream going on in the background just to kind of secondhand listen, I think is what you're saying. Yeah, like if I'm cleaning my house, it's like a 4 to 5 hour project. That's always when I get my podcasts that I like listening to in during the cleaning or a road trip. The best time to do it. The Mummy movies. I haven't watched those. I watched 1, 2, and maybe 3 of Rambo a couple months back. I mean, actually, I think it's almost been a year at this one. No, it was in like January or February. And those were pretty good. I can have respect for those movies. I dabbled with that. Trying to think of what other movies. Oh, what was that one that I just watched? It was so bad. Thanks, Ernie. Great to see you too. Enjoy your fitness. I hope you get a good little pump in. Brandon Fraser, who's that? Unsure. There was this new kind of pasta that I had for the first time when I was in Birmingham. And I just bought it at Trader Joe's. And I'm curious who else has had this. It's spelled weird. And Tommy says I pronounce it wrong, but that's Casilla Pepe. CACIOE and then PEPE. The bowl of that I had at the hotel lobby hotel lobby restaurant, whatever, was honestly life-changing. So then he told me that him and his wife, Tiff, they get it from Trader Joe's. So I bought it the other day and I had it for dinner and then I had the leftovers for breakfast. I obviously put chicken in there so that I could get some protein as well. I'm curious if anybody else has had it before. I'm sure everybody has. But growing up in a super, super, super Italian community of Utica, which Utica arguably has like one of the best, it's like one of the best cities to eat because it has a lot of there's like refugee communities there, so a ton of people coming over that then like are trying to start a living for themselves and just open up like Middle Eastern restaurants, Greek restaurants, Italian restaurants, all the good stuff. Just means cheese and pepper. Thanks, Ed. Well, it's really freaking good. Um, I've seen it on menus before, but I've never ordered it because I feel like people have explained it to me that it's just like fettuccine alfredo, and I don't like that. I don't like that sauce. But this was a whole other experience for me. Goated when done right. I can make it for you. Now we're talking. The best way to my heart is through my stomach. Then I put a little bit of Parmesan cheese, fresh parm, and it was chef's kiss. Oh, Brandon Fraser, lead actor in the Mummy movies. I'm really bad with names for actors, actresses, anybody that's famous. Most of the time, I have no idea who you're talking about, but when you show me a picture, then I'm like, oh, yeah, I recognize that person. Can the Packers actually beat the Eagles on Friday? Though they'll ultimately lose out to the 49ers. Hey, don't bring that bad attitude here. These shows are for positivity only. No negativity. The Pack are going to have a great season. I'm hopeful. And yes, they are going to win. Go Pack, go. Get your cheese head ready. Oh no, Ed is lactose intolerant. Have one of those pills. One of my best friends in college is so funny. She'd keep them like in her little wallet. And then when we would drink a lot in college and then of course like go eat a lot afterwards, she'd always be popping pills. That sounds bad. That's not what I mean. Popping the pills so that she wouldn't get sick if we had late night pizza. And this one time she forgot them at home. So we had to find like an open pharmacy that she could get the lactose tabs. And it was quite the time. So Masters comps have been undersold by the games as they're the most relatable to the everyday athlete, and I've watched more than most. I don't think that Masters comps have necessarily been undersold by the games. I just don't think that the format put them up for success because even when you think about the teams can, and I get like teams and individuals at the games this year was different because they were only on one floor. So you could watch all of it if you wanted to. But I think when you try to have more than one star of the show, it gets tough because the same way as like food with palate fatigue, your eyes get fatigue of watching so much stuff in one sitting time, at least mine do, that I'm really excited for Wadapalooza SoCal because it's this like primetime coverage of the teams and like the elites aren't competing in any other division. Like if you're elite, you're on one of those two teams. So it's an opportunity to drive traffic all towards that. And I think that was a good move. I eat curds until I thought I was intolerant in Green Bay. Oh, that sounds like a terrible idea. In fairness, most Americans will pronounce it wrong. Yeah, but still. Oh, Kroll's. Kroll's West. Let's go. Not to brag, but I can make a mean bowl of cereal. Hey, don't underestimate Cinnamon Toast Crunch. That stuff is good. One of the best cereals. I feel like I feel like cereal similar to peanut butter and jelly is one of those things that's way undersold. They are both so good, but they don't get enough credit for it. You know? I feel like they should get a little bit more pump for it. Okay, we are approaching about an hour. It is 7:01 Eastern. About an hour and a half till my bedtime routine. But this was fun. I'm glad you guys came to hang out and chat a little bit. It's good to get updated with everybody. And I'm trying to think, what day is today? Today is Thursday. Let me look at my schedule to see if we can somewhat plan when the next one's going to be. I know I said that they're all going to be Thursdays at 6 or whatever the time was, but this just felt right. And sometimes that's how it'll be. Okay. So we could do one. When do I travel? Honestly, it might Friday. Maybe we'll do Thursday next week. Maybe we'll try out with a Thursday slot. Ed, yes, thank you. It's Wednesday. I don't know what day it is. CrossFit Masters loses the spectacle when left on their own. They got their time to shine without doing JV versions of the games. Spectacle. Yeah, they might have lost the amount of people that they would have potentially gained from being teamed up with individuals, but all the athletes that I at least spoke to said it was way more entertaining to be with all of their people in the stadium where they were only like 10 feet away from the spectators. At some points, like they could touch the spectators versus being in the Coliseum where there was maybe 15 to 30 people and it felt really empty. So at least the athletes that I spoke to preferred it the way that it was this year. But I guess time will tell. That'll do it for Live with Laur, our third edition of this. We will look to regroup next Thursday, the 12th. If you guys have specific topics or ideas, or even if you have guests that you want me to start bringing on, just shoot me a message and let me know. Got on late. What happened to the lips? You're going to have to scroll back and listen to the whole story. The moral of the story is that they're fine now, but you're an hour late. Just hit that rewind button and you'll figure it out. Thanks again, everybody. I appreciate all of the love and support, and I will see you all on the Instagram or back on the live next week.